Hi everybody, hello, welcome back to tonight's tutorial. Hope you are all well. We are dealing with the card, the Two of Pentacles. So let's get ready to deal with this card and see what it's all about. And we're going to do things a little bit differently tonight. So let's jump right in. Here we go. Right, so we'll begin with the fact that there's our figure, and some of the key words for this card are balancing, adaptability, duality, and resourcefulness, adaptation, and stretching resources. So the Two of Pentacles card shows a man dancing as he juggles two large coins. And the pentacles are surrounded by this infinity sign, which tells us that this person can handle all of the issues that come his way and manage his life with grace. So if we look, we can see the two pentacles in that skirt, that infinity sign. And in the background, we can see there's two ships that are riding high on the giant waves, and they reinforce the balance and the act of being able to keep things juggling as he is looking at some rough and choppy waters, but still he's managing to stay afloat. Hi Passionate Saji, hi, how are you? Oh gosh, I'm just checking my internet. It looks as if it's a bit laggy. Okay, let's hope not. Okay, can people let me know if it starts to look a bit sketchy, because sometimes there is something I can do and sometimes there's things I can't do. I hope you're well. Good day to you. So, Two of Pentacles is showing us the ups and downs in life, and it shows that sometimes there's chaos that surrounds us. And in this card, the figure, the man, lives a kind of carefree life, because he looks as if he's hopping from one foot or dancing quite joyfully, handling all that's coming towards him. Good, good, good. Glad to hear it. That's wonderful. So get ready for that full moon in Taurus, everybody. I'm already feeling the effects of it. I wonder if you are too. So what do you think about this card, Passionate Saji? You know, it's quite a big lecture on this one tonight, so we can cover some ground here. I quite like this card. I think as long as it's for the short term, we are able to show what we're made of, you know, and manage things in a certain way. So the Two of Pentacles card is about balance, and the coins are being displayed rather precariously. You know, any small change of maybe the weather or the wind, weight can tip them up, you know, his own actions, and send them falling to the ground. So there are people that are around him that may be in a place where they're not so industrious or able to kind of deal with this kind of energy. So he might be trying to show that he is prepared for two aspects of life, and he's trying to keep balance in a perfect way. And this could be in all areas of your life. It's one's life that this is representing, because we're in the Suit of Pentacles, of course. And so the balancing act is showing that this can actually be that you are deeply concerned about two different aspects, major things in our life. These are not light matters, and these are things that are already around us. It's not worrying about what's going to happen. It's dealing with what you've got in hand. Shown he's holding that in the hand, like that Ace of Pentacles. Now he's got one in each. So now it's like, how do I manage this then? So it's time to step back and look and try and understand the situation better than we actually are. You might think, if I'm multitasking, it is a card of multitasking, that, you know, you might save time, or you might make the situation worse, of course. It's a card usually of saying you can do this for a short period of time. Maybe you need to cut down on your tasks and concentrate on the two factors that are troubling you the most. it's showing that because the Pentacles, that everything's come together, because Pentacles, of course, are all the elements that are merged together. And so you've obviously done an excellent job at managing to keep things stable, and that you are adapting. So this is about adaptability, and this is about the changes that will require you to keep continually rebalancing. If we are looking at somebody asking about love, people go, oh, what the heck does it mean if you get the Two of Pentacles? It simply means that we've got an inability to provide the energy and the time required to make our partners happy. We're multitasking. So we've been asked to look at our partnerships as they should be the main priority. But when you've got all that madness in other areas of your life, it's very hard to devote your attention to your loved ones. If you're asking about finances, this card is answering, you need to actually look and toe the line a little bit. And you should have, when you're in this card, if you draw it, you should already have a bit of a clear picture of the financial situation that you're already in. And you've got to plan your finances accordingly. And you've got to control your expenditure and try and increase your income to create a solid foundation for the future. This card also can actually tell us that we are not just multitasking, but maybe we've got 2 jobs or 2 part-time jobs, or that we are doing our main job and trying to set an enterprise up. It's implying that you are multitasking in areas that are about financial concerns, and that usually is our jobs. And it's one of those cards where you're trying to do something so that you can get your income stream to create a more solid foundation for the future. And if we're looking at well-being, this is a card that asks you to balance yourself between your well-being and your responsibilities. It's easy to make yourself the last priority when this card's coming up, because you've got so much that you don't want to drop the balls, do you? You don't want to drop the Pentacles, you know. And it should always be for a short term. This is not something you can keep doing, you know. It's got to be for the short term. All right. This can also be a card, just very important point in readings is this can actually be internal transfers at work. So if somebody has a reading and they're asking about their career or their job, quite simply, they might be saying, I'm applying for a new job. And if you see something that's new would be, what would new be? Anybody know? Yeah? Passionate Sagittarius? Do you want to have a go at that? I'll leave that there for a minute. What would be the difference between, this is internal, somewhere you already are, where you're shifting from, if you look at it, you're moving from A to B within. Look at the infinity symbol as if that was the organization. So let's take the industry that you're in, or the corporation, or the whatever it is. You know, you're in a hospital, you're moving from one place to the other within the hospital. You could look at the hospital as being a figure of 8, and you could see that you've got that internal shift from one place to another. But if we're looking at something new, she's got it. Well done, my lady. Yes. So the major arcana card would be the Fool. So you'd look there. Now, if the Fool was next to this, what do you say about that, Passionate Sagittarius? Go on, have a go. See what you think. Because that's actually 2 different things, isn't it? We've got new, and then we've got this. So if you put the 2 together, on its own, you've got the answer here. I'm helping you a little bit there. I'm going to have a sip of coffee. Okay, right, so we'll be looking at the fact that it's new, we've got the Fool. Okay, if we wanted it to be new again, we'll be looking at the Aces and We did the 4 aces the other day. Well, we did a lesson as in on the Ace of Pentacles, and I showed you the other aces so that you've got that new in your mind. So you already know 5 cards that represent something new. So if you had the Fool and one of the aces, it would be brand new and it would be outside of that. So if we had this, almost, if we had, let's keep this clear, we've got the Fool and we've got all the aces, we've got a brand new job elsewhere, not within where you are right now. If you've got this as your minor arcana card and you've got the Fool, you're saying a new position in work. Yes, that's correct. Most importantly, a new position, internal transfers, or a new position within the organization where, remember I said it can actually be more than one job. So can you see what I'm saying? So you get the Fool, you've got it new. So it's new that you're now having an internal transfer. Or it can be, they're now going to give you 2 separate roles. Can you see? It's been divided. All right. So you might be, oh, you know, I'm a teacher, but I'm also now deputy head in the school, because it's within. Look at the landscape. It's within that. That will really help you. Okay. Right. I'm going to put some keywords up there, and you know, you can always ask some questions as we go along, but let's just put some keywords up. So just reminding you that we are in the element of Earth, and all the astrological signs that were on the screen: Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So if this was, again, let's go back to love, because everybody wants love readings, don't they? As in they're the majority of what people phone up about. People that come to see you in person generally are more interested in their lives. So depends on what kind of organization you do your tarot readings in. Friends and family tend to come and see something that's on their mind that's happening out of the blue, or something that they feel that they need some advice on in their life, but they're not looking for you to kind of, it's not spiritual advice. So mind, body and spirit exhibitions, they're looking to grow, they're looking to actually know what to do next in life, are they on the right path, those kind of things. So let's just look at the fact that if it's love question, this is probably turning around and saying that you've got to put on a bit of a balancing act when the 2 of Pentacles comes up in a tarot love reading. Yeah, and it generally appears when you've got so many responsibilities that you need to take care of, and might be the last thing on your mind, having a romance, and you might feel strained that you're already juggling too many things, and juggling a relationship, your career, your family, and all those issues that go with that, that all require effort. And Pentacle people are people that don't do things by half measures. And when it's coming up in a reading, what I mean is that's an aspect of you. All right. So if this is if this comes up and it's your reading, it's about you. If they're asking about someone else, it's also about them, but it's about the person that's having the reading, which we call the querent. Okay. And so, you know, if this is something where you're juggling, as I've said, relationship, career, family, all those kind of things, you've got to be really careful that you take care of yourself as well, because that can go by the by, and you cannot keep this up for too long. So if you're multitasking, it should only be for a short while. Juggling too many things, all right? Always look at this, as I say, of juggling 2 things and going, you can only do that for a short while, because you know what, it's requiring both hands and all your attention. If you were juggling that, you can't keep juggling and do everything you need to do. You can't. You'd have to put, you know, the pentacles down in order to eat, to sleep, to dress, to wash, to do what you need to do. If this is coming up and somebody's asking about new love because they're single, it's sort of saying that, you know, you've got to really weigh up whether or not you've got room in your life for a relationship. People may want it, but they may not realise quite the responsibilities it's necessary in order to be fair to themselves or someone else and to actually give it a chance. You know, you need to look at whether or not you've got that priority in your life to be able to work out what to do. Career, as I said, it's definitely one of those where you've got to look at, you're probably juggling so many projects and you've got to learn how to draw the line, because it can only happen for a short period of time. It's probably hectic, more so than usual, and you might find that you're being dumped on at the last minute, where things that you weren't meant to be doing, you now find yourself, it's your responsibility. And now what turned out to be a favour, yeah, weighing up the pros and cons, absolutely. But in this regard, if it's like work, it's where you are probably, people give you things to do and flatter you, saying, oh, you're very good at that, you'll get that done, won't you? And all you do is a favour. You know, how many people have done something as a favour and then all of a sudden it's assumed that it's your responsibility. And you've got to, you know, you're probably doing it thinking, well, you know, they'll probably notice how good I am and give me, you know, a promotion. Probably not, because they're not going to want to lose, you know, the fact that you are handy to have around. So they're certainly not going to move you along to someone else. Think about it that way, okay? So others can be very impressed at how much you can handle and how resourceful you can be. But this should always be, I stress, a temporary state. You've got to be wary when this comes up that you don't take on more work than you can handle, because people will just expect you to do it. They're giving it all to the person like you because you're good-natured, because they don't want to do it. And if this continues, you've got to work out, hang on a minute, it's for the short term, or I need compensation for doing this, and it's for the short term. And sometimes this card can point towards you wanting to do it because you're balancing your career goals with other aspects of your life. You know, so while you're busy working your day shift, you're studying for something else to get out of that rut. And the Two of Pentacles suggests that you're now working hard to pay all your bills, and you're probably robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's a real juggling act right now, because things can be extremely tight. Okay, so sometimes the Two of Pentacles can also emphasize the need to make some really big choices regarding money, and that can make you feel very uncertain, or as if you're not on any solid ground. Pleased to say this full moon that's coming up in Taurus should also make us feel a little bit more stable, because Taurus is our material security. So hopefully we'll all feel a bit more stable as this full moon comes in. I believe it's tomorrow. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody? No, I'm not an expert in that at all, but I'm always aware that the effect it can have on us. And so things can change very quickly when we get the Two of Pentacles. And that's what it's all about. Can you, you know, they throw it to you and you catch it, and it's like, oh, got to keep it all kind of up in the air. Everything's up in the air. And you can't be hesitant about making choices, and you can be so busy multitasking that you're in a place that you're really adaptable, and you're trying to come out of the situation and to remain just fine. You're doing it for a reason. Hi Tony, how are you? Yes, tomorrow. Yeah, it is. Good, thanks for looking that up. That's what I was told by my system, my astro system. But sometimes when you're multitasking, she says, don't always go, did I get that right? I was so busy doing this. If we look at this card, we can see a young man dancing. And the Two of Pentacles is suggesting that he's juggling those two coins. And that infinity symbol links those coins together, showing that the man can handle unlimited problems. And, you know, time management, that's another good keyword for this card. Energy and resources. And in the background, those ships are showing they're going bobbing up and down on the waves. Another sign that that's life's ups and downs and our emotions and our ability to manage and focus and pay attention to what we're doing despite the emotional roller coaster going on behind. So when it appears in a reading, it's safe to say that you're juggling your priorities, your roles, your responsibilities. So you might be a working parent, you might have got, you know, general manager's role, or you might be looking after your elderly parents or caring for someone. And yet you've still got everything that everyone else has got on their plate at work, and because you're nice and probably overcompensating for the fact that you're feeling a bit guilty that you're not probably firing on all cylinders, you can overcompensate. How often have we all done that? So this is a card showing that you're doing an excellent job that you see people can take for granted, and you've got to be very careful that your boundaries are in, okay? And you've got to be aware that you're taking what life's throwing at you, but don't take your eye off the ball about yourself, okay? Just coping with all the demands means that you could lose sight of yourself and just be so busy managing that you're just not making yourself happy. And that would be a dreadful shame. So this is definitely about being able to manage our priorities and looking at the line between coping with the demands and losing control. The line can be very thin, so we have to watch out. You know, you've got to manage your time, you've got to manage yourself, you've got to manage your energy and your resources to remain in balance. All right, so I'm going to show you this. So I'm going to move this back. Of course it would do that, but no. Okay, sorry everybody. All right, so all 2 cards in tarot. Better make sure my mic's on. Can you hear me, everybody? And bear with me, I've lost my microphone for a second. Need to be able to see that it's there. Yeah, I feel that you can hear me. All right, I'll begin again. So all 2 cards in tarot reflect moments where there are 2 contrasting or complementary forces. And the theme of balance is about managing these forces, while choice is about deciding how to respond to those choices. Now the Two of Cups, brilliant, thanks, Passionate Surgery. Two of Cups, which is water, is the emotional duality. So that's the balance in partnerships, of relationships, and mutual understanding. The Two of Pentacles, which is what we're studying, is earth. And this is about practicality, duality, balancing material aspects like work, finances, and daily life responsibilities. Two of Swords, which is air, is the mental duality. So we showed you what duality was. I wanted that to be a very bold statement of yin and yang and opposites being able to come together. And in the Two of Swords, that mental duality, that yin, that yang, or that diversity, that internal conflict between the opposing thoughts or emotions need clarity. And the Two of Wands, which is fire. Now this is visionary duality. It's the balancing of two potential futures or opportunities, weighing it up, evaluating which path to take. So duality, some key points in each suit, just to help you. Two of Cups, water, is emotional duality, balance in partnerships, relationships, and mutual understanding. Two of Pentacles, which is earth, is a practical duality, balancing material aspects like work, finances, our daily lives, our responsibilities. And the Two of Swords is air, mental duality, the internal conflict between the opposing thoughts or the emotions that need clarity. The Two of Wands is fire, visionary duality, the balancing of two potential futures or opportunities and evaluating which path to take. I got this card last night. Balance, how each suit demonstrates it. So in the Two of Cups, the emotional balance, unity in relationships, where both of the partners bring their energy in harmony. That's what we're being told with this card. Two of Pentacles is the balancing and fluctuating of responsibilities and trying to find stability between the competing demands. The Two of Swords is the mental balance between conflicting ideas, how we feel, and trying to achieve that clarity despite all of that confusion. Two of Wands is balancing the vision and the action, where one evaluates future opportunities before making a confident decision. Choice. So how choices are presented in the two cards, i.e. the twos as in the suits. So in the Two of Cups, a choice to commit or not to a relationship, to nurture or to withdraw from the emotional connection. Two of Pentacles is a choice in how to allocate the energy between the different life responsibilities and the juggling act that becomes just that in our lives. Two of Swords is the choice to decide between the two conflicting options that requires mental clarity and resolution. Two of Wands is the choice which path to go down, which opportunity to invest in for future growth and success. The key symbols to look for within the two cards, i.e. the number 2. Two of Cups, there's the emotional connection. Often we're shown two figures, depending on which deck you use, but the Rider-Waite deck, often two figures are facing each other. This symbolises mutual respect. When we look at the Two of Pentacles, the Pentacles is the material world, and it shows a figure juggling the material world, symbolising the balance amid all the changes. The Two of Swords is the mental conflict, So the crossed swords symbolise the indecision. Often we see a blindfold to indicate a need for clearer insight. Two of Wands, action and ambition. A figure's holding a globe or standing at a crossroad, symbolising contemplation and future choices when we see Rider-Waite based deck. So duality is all the twos in the suits reflect a need to balance opposing forces or perspectives. There's a common theme there. So whether in emotions, responsibilities, decisions or ambitions, the two cards, number 2 in cards, as in the minor arcana, encourage equilibrium. So the choice is where in the twos, the number 2 in tarot, in the minor arcana, offers opportunities for decision making where the querent must choose which direction to take, often requiring inner reflection and external action. So, a lot there, isn't there? Yeah, an awful lot going on there, as you could see. So, the twos in tarot, you know, if you know your numbers, it will help you. So 2 is always about choice, balance, duality. And I wanted to give you something visual to work with. Bear with me a second, I just need to move my scene around a little bit. Okay, I know we've changed colours. Been a busy day again, so there we go. We've got what we've got. So, this is a card that makes us feel that we haven't got enough time, that we're in a rush, and that we're really busy, and can we get things done? Don't we all know that? Sometimes taking a break is one of the most powerful and productive things you can do because it resets everything. Again, think about the times when you've actually been in a place where so much is happening and yet you get to that point where you think, I've just got to go and get a breath of fresh air or just nip out of this particular environment, i.e. the office or wherever it is you're working from. And just by taking yourself away, you walk back later and everything's different, everything's moved on. And so you're not getting you're not getting that stress because you've walked away temporarily and probably not thought about anything apart from how to navigate yourself from A to B. But it's enough to actually revitalise and refresh everything. So it can be the most productive thing that we do. So the 2 of Pentacles can appear when you get caught up in the demands and lose sight of the bigger picture. Really, when you get this card, some good questions to ask would be, what life do I want? How can I reorganise and reschedule to create the life that I desire? And so that's in your hands. The cards can only help you with the psychology of everything, all right? So it's not about the cards giving advice, and that everyone thinks that that's what it is, but they can actually give you the thoughts or point out the obvious things that you need to focus on and pay attention to while we're caught up or lost in some sort of strange scenarios that are going on. So 2 of Pentacles invites you to manage your time and priorities carefully. And the workload is high right now. You need to stay focused and productive and get everything done. And so this is where you might benefit from a to-do list, you know, or enlist a helper, an assistant or business coach to help you make the right changes. Time management is crucial to juggling a variety of priorities and keeping your head above water. This is a card that reminds you to pay special attention to your general sort of administration, things like bills, managing your finances, staying on top of your commitments, keeping your diary, maintaining it. You know, you need to avoid attending to essential deadlines. This is a card that tells you to be aware of the concept of balance and those parts of life where you may have it and where you may not. And we saw duality in the video earlier. You know, it's just about, you know, you could have complete opposites. Like your home life's completely pulling in one direction, and then you've got people at work pulling you just as hard, and you feeling caught up in the middle, not knowing which way to turn, because there's only so much of you, and if you overcompensate for one, it's not going to work. And if you give equally, they're going to expect it. So it's one of those where you can show that you can do it, but as I keep saying, it's for the short term, temporary. And even if we're, you know, looking to actually save for a rainy day and keep balancing our finances just in case something pops up, yes, but you can't keep doing that permanently. You should at some point change that. You know, stabilise your work and your family commitments. Sounds great, doesn't it? But you also need to be able to sometimes give one a higher priority one week and maybe the other the next. So when this card appears, it's a reminder to be patient, boundaries for yourself, flexibility, adaptability, juggling your responsibilities while you get new things started. But this is not permanent, because it's not sustainable. You need to be ready to swap around activities. Even when we say about having 2 part-time jobs. You know, I knew a lady for years that actually had a full-time job and then a part-time job to pay the mortgage. And she was still doing that, coming up for her pension. It's too long, far too long, you know? And before that, she'd really, really studied and probably ended up not using all of that education. She couldn't get the position. And the only way she could do what she was doing was to keep it going. Not the right way. And played havoc with her well-being, her physical health. I'm telling you, you know, you cannot do that for 30 odd years, which is what I'm describing about this. And this was not a client, this is somebody I know, all right? So you've got to be ready to mix and match, swap, accommodate, you know, look at things last minute and go with it. Look at it as a seesaw. You know, 1 minute, right, you're getting my full attention. Right, you're getting my full attention. Right, now I'm giving myself the full attention. It's only for a short time. And then I will actually be able to think, I'm not going to do this anymore. You know? And while I've walked away from it, I've come up with a solution. I don't want 2 part-time jobs. I don't want a full-time job and a part-time job. I don't want to do it. You can only do it for a certain period of time. And it's fine to be given the opportunity to get from A to B. You know, most students are studying, but they've also got a part-time job. Well, that shouldn't be forever. That shouldn't be the permanent state. That should be for a period of time. When it comes to exam times, way before exams, they should be stopping that. You see? You cannot keep it going. It acknowledges that we are wearing many hats and managing many responsibilities, multitasking, and maybe robbing Peter to pay Paul because everything's up in the air, and once we've paid this, we'll be able to stop doing that, and the pressure will get to you. You know, it's like, there's no point going, right, okay, well, I've done that, I'm going to do it again now because now I'm going to go and do this. So, you know, you've got to put your attention into you and make sure that you can deliver it over the long term. So effective time management, breaking things down, staying focused on the task that is the most important. And of course, sometimes people say, oh, I can do this forever and a day, but it will become overwhelming and it will start to have an effect upon your well-being, and you become resentful and you become miserable and you will feel that people take advantage of you because when you said no, they didn't like it, and you were so tired, and. So, you know, this is also when we're considering if it's a career question, I beg your pardon. If it's a career question, it's like you are looking at your options and maybe looking at how you're going to actually make that happen by maybe taking on some study or being an apprentice for something while you're still doing your day job. We've all done it, we've all had to do it, students do it, fine, but we don't keep doing it, and we don't do it to the detriment of the final goal, or to be able to say, well, that's how I actually live week to week. I cannot stop doing it. We won't survive if I stop doing it. It cannot be that kind of plan. You know, you would need to be paying attention to only this. It will exclude every other area in your life. All right, so let's look at the Two of Pentacles as a person. Okay, so Two of Pentacles people are always busy, multitaskers. They've perpetually got something on the go, and they juggle the various elements of their lives. And sometimes they manage to be a parent or an employee or a business owner. They can be a mentor, a volunteer, all at the same time. So multitasking, multiple sort of concerns. Their lives may appear to be chaotic, but those kind of people doing that will have got a strategic plan. Sometimes while they're so happy with their multiple goals, they can't give you their full attention. And as a result, obviously, some areas of their life may actually suffer. If you are looking for love, you know, this is looking at the places where it could happen. You know, the fact that it may be connected in somewhere with where you're working. But it's also a reminder that do you have enough time? Do you have enough time if this comes along? Are you going to take your eye off the ball and drop the lot of what you're doing? Or are you going to sacrifice yourself and do this and miss the chance because you're sending out the wrong signals or you weren't paying attention? So it could be all you've got to do is actually go, do you know what, this is not the right time for me, but hold on a minute, can you give me a period of time? You need to suggest that time, you know, can you give me a couple of weeks? Let me sort of see how I can actually sort something out, because I can't see this working in the way that I'm doing it. So those responsibilities and projects can have you bogged down, and you won't be putting the priorities of anything together if you're actually feeling that you're resentful or that you are not addressing matters in your own life. So if this came up in a spiritual sort of sense, for someone who's asking about their spirituality, it would be sort of like, are you so consumed with day-to-day sort of stuff and your affairs, you know, duties, that you don't have time for your spiritual development? So this is like asking you to kind of just focus on both and try and create a little space so that you can navigate this in a smooth way. And it's just one of those things of saying you need to make time, you know. And this is a card, as I said, the number 2 in Tarot, in the Minor Arcana, is balance, harmony and interaction. It's asking you to stay flexible to the changes, to life's upheavals of being up and down, so you enjoy the ride rather than fight it. Brush up on your juggling skills, might need them. You need to stay focused. The situation is temporary. You know, it's a juggling act. It's as simple as that. And it is stressful. And people can sometimes say, oh, it requires so much concentration. I quite like it. You need to be coping well to be able to manage this, and I mean extremely well. And you can't focus on everything. Something's going to get dropped. And that might be your finances, might be your career, might be your family, might be your friends. You can't give to everything. You can only stay on top of a situation like this with some quick thinking. Different when we said if it's a personality that's like this, it just implies that they're able to flip from one thing to another. But that's because they've organised it that way. What we're talking about is not the personality of the Two of Pentacles like I was describing. We are talking quite simply about the fact that this is in your material world. This is your situation. This is what you have in front of you right now. And so we've got to make sure that we stay on top of that situation. And we might have to do some real quick thinking. So there's a time to actually let the mind sort of get on with, our routines, but zone out enough to work out the life changes that you wish for yourself. So the message with this card is pay attention by all means, but also pay attention to you. To be flexible, to be prudent. Life can be a challenge, but don't get so bogged down with what you're doing that you are only focused on this, because no matter how long you do it for, if you do not think yourself out of the situation, it will do it for you, or you'll be stuck like this. And as I say, there are people that do it. But just imagine, being that kind of a martyr. For what? A mortgage? There's got to be more to life, takes its toll. You can't do it permanently. This should always be that you are focusing, but looking at the way out, or this is a completion of one of those pentacles coming to conclude, so that you can focus back on the holistic self, so that you are maintaining a balance between more than one part of your life at a time, such as your home, your work, and your play. So it can signal that this is the right way to get our finances sorted out. So but you've got to have a sensible approach. It's showing that you will cope, but just because you're coping doesn't make it right. It can show sometimes that you're balancing two relationships. I'm not talking about cheap timing, I'm talking about trying to keep maybe our families or our friends happy, as well as our partner, or our partner against the children, or the children against our partner, whatever it is. You see? Those relationships. And it just shows that we really do need to make some decisions. And those decisions are probably financial decisions, cash flow, balancing act, juggling, everything, the cash flow, the ups and downs, money coming in, money going out, money transfers, profits, losses. So our ambitious young man in this card seems to be doing everything and making it work for him. And he's obviously got a long-term goal in mind, and he accepts that he's got to work hard to achieve that. And it is hard work. We're seeing him hopping from foot to foot, juggling. And one pentacle's higher than the other in that figure of 8 loop, known as the lemniscate. And this represents the endless flow of energy, the ups and downs. All energy is recycled. We were talking about this the other day, weren't we, Passionate Surgery, with the start card. Water being recycled back from the pool, from the earth to the pool, from the pool back to the earth. Whether good or bad. Energy is simply energy, which is why I was showing you duality, yin and yang, night and day. or those colours that you saw. And if you missed that, please do go back and have a quick look, because I wanted to make a very powerful statement about the Pentacles, because it is very much the earth matters, and not just money, 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 money. It's about the decisions we make about our financial security and the kind of things that happen in our material world, i.e. things that are tangible, that are real. Not daydreaming, or I'm thinking, I'm feeling, or I've got a hobby, or I'm acting on it. It's like, I got to deal with this. This is in front of me right now, and I can't ignore it. So, you know, it's the cycle that continues forever. And it's about how we use that energy. Because what goes round comes round. Money's energy, isn't it? We all know that. And what comes in on one hand is a habit of going out at the other hand rather quickly. So we've got to be aware of that too. And it's a bit like turning around and saying that this is also the exchange for goods and services, money changing hands from A to B. So unless the cycle's maintained, the world would collapse, wouldn't it? Our commerce and trade would all disappear. So energy and money, you know, they go hand in hand. And it's easy, isn't it? The more money you've got, the more money you can generate. Money makes money. You know, it's a fact of life. Energy makes energy. So if we deplete it, you see, sometimes we're being told, jumped out of my skin there, I'm sorry. I have a Mac, and if you use a certain word, it thinks you're talking to it. So I obviously said something similar, and it said, I'm listening in my earbuds. What do you want? I don't want anything. Okay, yeah, the power of our AI or our assistants, as in on our computers or our phones. So yeah, money makes money. Our last point is going to be, sometimes a small investment can get the ball rolling and create some momentum. So we sometimes have to do this. So this is not a no, don't do it. It's just be aware that you're in charge, to take your eye off the ball about you. And don't be a slave to this because you're so busy focusing. Okay? Right. Quick reminder to everybody, the podcasts are there for you if you want to have a look at them. They're on my YouTube channel. You know, you can actually always go and have a look at those. The courses are there also. Big word that I want to put out there. The courses are on my website. They are video based. They are not classroom situations. There are no workbooks. There are no PDFs. There are no questions. There are no quizzes. They are videos. And the videos, if you think they're like this, you're wrong. This has just been something of facts and education. I can only educate somebody so much. And if you think that's enough and you don't want to know any more, then that's fine. But I can assure you that the more you know, the more of a pleasure it is. And no, I haven't taught you my methods. I've only suggested that you use powers. That's only a drop in the ocean of how it actually all works. And unless you do all of the courses, you will never know. But there have been people asking for pictures and questions and quizzes and email support and groups. No, it's a video digital course. If it's not for you, I'm sorry. And where would you find something like that? You wouldn't, you know, because you would be in university for something such as that. And I can tell you because I've been on them or I have run them. There may be somebody that wants to go out there and pay £1,000 for each stage, because that's what you'd be looking at for that kind of mentoring. And you would only be getting something like maybe the major arcana cards. So just so everybody is aware. Yes. Thank you very much, Passionate Saji, because people are getting a little confused that they want quizzes, workbooks, homework. No, that's not what a digital course is. And they are video based only. And simple as that. You get your courses on there and they're yours. And you do what you want with them. The work is down to you. Okay? So thank you very much, everybody, for your company tonight. Passionate Saji, thank you so much for the lovely comments and keeping me company here. Thanks to Tony, my moderators, and everybody that's been supporting me on this channel. It's always lovely to have your company. And wishing you a beautiful weekend. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Sorry, that should have played me out. I'm really sorry. Bye.